This is what I had to boil it down to.
Woo!
Almost gave them a hint.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Dosage podcast. We are here live on Twitch. For those listening back, feel free to join us anytime on Tuesday nights for brand new podcasts every Tuesday here. But again, we are in the year 2006. I was 21, and man, what a year that was. Speaking of, it is episode 121. Weird how that's lining up. I'll take it. But again, welcome our hosts tonight. Myself, we have iRob, and we have Cody.
Hey.
Hey.
Again, get hype. So full of energy, these guys. I can't handle how much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Can't handle your energy levels.
I was 13 this year.
Damn.
Big old teenager.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
Getting them little mustache hairs.
Oh, yeah. Those really awkward mustache hairs.
Ty says I was 5 in 06. Batman says they were 33 in 06. It's funny where we all were in these years.
Sheesh.
But let's talk about 06. Nintendo announced its newly redesigned handheld, the Nintendo DS Lite. The new model is lighter, smaller, has configurable brightness, and features an improved user interface.
That's what she said.
It's true, though. The Los Angeles Attorney's Office sues Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive over the Hot Coffee mod. Still ongoing, obviously. At this time, we talked about that in 05. Plug, check out 05. A mandatory update for the Xbox Live on the Xbox 360 was released. Microsoft claimed the update was for bug fixes and improvements. Members of the modding community claimed that the true purpose of this update was to halt the progress of the modding community. Sony is reportedly building an Xbox Live killer for the PlayStation 3, which we now know as
What? Wasn't listening.
the PlayStation Network. November 17th, Sony released the PlayStation 3 in North America. November 19th, Nintendo released the Wii. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what we do here before we get into our top 10 list of the year we talk about our honorary mentions. iRob was with us in 05, and he's shuffling papers is Cody. iRob, you said you did not make a 10 list, so therefore you also did not make a full top 10 list. So therefore you don't have an honorary mentions list.
Correct. I do have, so no honorary mentions. I can come in when we get to top 6. How about that?
Top 6. Cody, hit us with your honorary mentions.
Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth 2, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, True Crime, New York City, X-Men, the video game, and one Street Ball, and that's it for honorable mentions.
Damn. My honorable mentions are new Super Mario Bros., Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, The Sims 2 Pets, Final Fantasy 12, and WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Normally I'd say, iRob, kick us off, but you said you don't come in until
6.
6. Ty says the Justice Royale logo camo in top left corner. Cameo. Yeah, we got logos in rotation. Ty's recognizing the logos by iRob. Ty, I just want to let you know, I don't know if anyone notices those. Those have been there a while.
Long time.
Quite a while.
I noticed them. I just don't ever bring it up.
Yeah.
Even I have them on the podcast and my streams.
Yeah. That's why I tell people, submit your designs. I'll make sure it's shown off.
Yeah. They're in the top right corner on my streams.
See, there's Keep Smiling now.
Yeah.
See? I give you guys shout outs because I love you guys. Because I
And
love.
you guys just shit on it.
It's true.
Not even noticing.
It's true.
till months after.
Some
Jeez.
community, am I right?
Some community indeed.
God.
This it's not even a community at this point. Moving on. Number 10. So my number 10 is Thrillville. Thrillville is great. Um, it was kind of like Roller Coaster Tycoon a little bit, but it was more 3D like, and you could actually ride the roller coasters, and it just looked more realistic in my opinion. Um, But it's same concept. I mean, you make this amusement park, you make these roller coasters to one, keep people happy, two, make it so people don't starve and don't dehydrate, and then also you have to make bathrooms and stuff so they can pee. But yeah, it's just a great game overall. And I completely forgot about it until I did this list, and I was like, oh, that was a great game. I should probably pull it out again. So I will.
That's what she said. No, I love
Good one.
simulation games. I've said that many times on these podcasts. Roller Coaster Tycoon being obviously one of my favorite franchises for them. But yeah, no, I want to say I've played that one, but I don't probably have as many memories as you, I guess.
It's a great game.
I'll have to pull it out.
That's what she said.
It's true.
Again.
It's true. Number 10 for Ty is Cookin' Mama.
Oh,
Those are fun games. I don't think they'd ever make a list for me, but those are fun games.
that was on the DS. Yeah, that was a good one.
I think they eventually made their way to the Wii.
They did.
Yeah. My number 10 is Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Wow.
WoW is in WoW, it's low, or?
Yeah, that's low.
Oh. Well, the game, it's a good game, but
Still holds up today.
uh, it's kind of buggy and broken.
So does Ultimate Alliance 2. Both of them are really good.
3 is really, really good.
I mean, I prefer like Marvel over DC and all that, so I have a higher love for Marvel, I
Well, they got
guess.
the better roster of characters.
Yeah.
That's why. The only thing
And then this
DC has is
one
Batman.
you can combine him with the X-Men and stuff like that in this one, so
Oh,
yeah. What happened? Oh, there he is. Hello.
The phone decided to be silly, I guess. I don't know.
oh, that was weird. But yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I like that one. I think it was a good one.
I guess number 9. I had Just Cause. It's a great game, and honestly, it's evolved a lot, and people still play it today, which is pretty impressive considering we're, what, 15 years later? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a very good game when it first came out as well, and it's only grown from there. So
Batman says what? No, I'm assuming it's the DC only has Batman common. I mean that is a joke. I know there's obviously a larger cast of interesting characters.
yeah, because Batman can die to basically everybody.
Yeah, that's just that's what you call a trigger. That sets people off, and that's a thing I like to do because controversy is good content. So, and just
Batman's biggest enemy is the IRS.
Injustice games are way better than the Marvel games.
I mean, yeah, if you like Mortal Kombat,
Yeah, it's
I
the
mean,
same
they
developer, isn't
just
it?
took that. Yeah, I mean, they just took that concept, and it's the same developer, and they even combined the games. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
those
if
are
you like
fun though.
that very, yeah, but it's kind of like like stuck in the mud fighting game. Like Marvel Ultimate Alliance is like a fairly an open world game that you can basically do what you want within it.
Well, yeah, it's an
And games
isometric
like in
like
yeah, and
exploration. You had a leveling system. You had like attribute points, and like it had RPG elements. It's not a fighting game per se.
yeah, and Injustice is just kind of you can move left or you can move right, and you can kick and you can punch, and that's it. You have your certain set of moves like you do in Mortal Kombat, and that's it. Mortal Kombat's great. I love Mortal Kombat, but like just It really doesn't hold up to like open world and open movement and
I agree.
all that sort of
Arcade
jazz.
fighting has its place, but I would prefer more
Not.
options. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm not crapping on arcade stuff. I love arcade fighters. But if I would have the choice, I would also lean towards Ultimate Allies.
I will say that Injustice is better than like Marvel vs. Capcom, which they can be competitive there.
Ooh, that's a bold statement. You want controversy on the show.
I mean, I think they're close. Just Injustice visually is more
I'll
appealing.
tell you this. I had the opportunity once to call competitive fighting at a like a what do you call it? A convention, and Marvel vs. Capcom was probably one of the more interesting ones to do. So I'll leave it at that as my stance on them. That was your number 9.
9.
Okay,
Yep.
you said you come in at 6, Rob. All right, he's just quietly
Yeah.
observing. My number 9 is Call of Duty 3. we're we're gonna fight
I
on this
will. I
list.
will. I will walk away. You had Call of Duty 2 all the way at what, like number 2 on your
Yeah,
last list, and you have Call of Duty 3, which is way better, all the way up at number 9.
it's not way
Jesus. You know
better.
what? I'm not sharing my Kit Kats with you.
You weren't going to anyways. Let's be
I was
real.
going to. I was going to. Not
Lies.
anymore.
You're lying to everybody.
Mm-mm-mm. I'm disappointed.
Are you though?
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
This is my list.
You can be wrong. It's okay.
No, I'm not wrong on my own list.
I didn't
Ty,
say you were. I just said it's okay if you are.
you know who
Yeah.
is wrong? Ty at number 9 with Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda.
Jeez.
Number 9? What is wrong with you, Ty? Am I doing it right, Cody? I will walk away.
You gotta have more bass.
I will walk away.
There you go.
Where is he?
Where's Harvey?
Can
Going back
Ty?
into Batman.
Ty wants a Kit Kat. Give Ty a Kit Kat. Give him a break. Break him off.
Oh yeah, I'll save you some. I'll pick you up tomorrow.
Pick me up. Shit.
My number 8. Um, you really didn't say much about Call of Duty. Did you want to go on about Call of Duty?
Okay, in 3, the only thing I appreciated more was having the vehicles in multiplayer.
Okay.
To me, like the story, like I don't know, I enjoyed 2 much better. Had a better story. And 3 felt different, and as it should have, it was a different developer.
I think the online is what did it for me. The online on 3 is obviously way better than it is on 2. And Call of Duty 3 really elevated what was to be expected from online Call of Duty. Um, this was really that giant stepping stone to get you into Modern Warfare, which was 4.
I,
So,
to be fair, I had gaps in online during this time. It wasn't until 2007 that I've been consistent with Xbox Live.
gotcha.
So I haven't
That
had a
makes more
gap.
sense then.
I haven't had a gap in Xbox Live since 2007. 2000, well, since 2006. 2006 was my last spot a year.
And that's why I don't really care for like I'm not. I don't like online, like basically what you do for Call of Duty, where it's everybody goes in and the kill box type stuff. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's like what we do for Halo as well.
I mean, it's essentially the same thing. Like
Yeah.
online. Okay, here's the thing about online shooters in general. There's got to be some grasping point. There's a gotcha moment, whether it's the people you're playing with, or if you just get it and you actually are moderately good at it. Because if you're just garbage at it, you're gonna check out, and
I think that's why
especially if you don't have
Halo
friends to play.
was okay to me, because like that was our thing, was we would play Halo. So it was I was with a friend doing it, and then for Call of Duty, it was just when I tried to do it, it
By
was just
yourself.
me going on,
Yeah.
and I wasn't very good, so it was just like this isn't fun, so I just didn't get into it.
Yeah. I mean, now that you explained it, I can kind of see why you have 2 a little bit higher. Storyline wise, 2 is a little bit better in that regard, but 3 just leaps and bounds with the multiplayer, the online play.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things I wish I would have. But anytime I did get like a trial or I did have the ability to afford it for a month, there was another game that I was playing instead. And we'll get to that later on
Really?
in the list.
Bro.
But yeah, that was my number 9 that you called me back out on. What was your 8?
Oh. My number 8 was Saints Row. Um, Saints Row, I'm really disappointed with Saints Row, with how it evolved from this. Because this first one was a game that you thought could be really competitive to Grand Theft Auto.
And it was, but it was still
It
unique.
was. But it wasn't as goofy as they made it now. Like this was a more serious game that was it kept you like in the universe of like building your gang and everything like that. And it was just like a really good story to it. But yeah, I mean, where they went from this is not where I wanted them to go at all. Like they just went to like I guess they looked at it like they couldn't compete with Grand Theft Auto or something, and they just went the goofy route instead, which I thought this first one was just as good, if not better than Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. So,
I think it was a wise move to differentiate themselves because if you
yeah.
are trying to go against something that has the entire market of that genre, you're going to lose. So
It was
be.
just such a good game.
Oh, I agree
Your
100%.
opinion, I prefer Saints Row to any of the GTA's.
Yikes.
I mean, this first one was great. It really was. There was just so much to it that they added on. Um, it was, and at this point in time, Grand Theft Auto has been 2, 3 years without making a game. So this was really, really good timing for them to make a new game. Um, and yeah, you just thought it was going to be a competitor of Grand Theft Auto, and once 2 came out, it just wasn't at all.
Yeah, shout out to Rated. Thank you for the host, man. Welcome to the show. So I know we're going to get to it as the years go on. This is kind of like a preview of episodes to come. What's up? What's up? Thanks for the host, Ty. I like that one. What's up? To me, 2 or 3 was the peak of Saints Row. Just because it kept it still somewhat to its core without going way too out there. And then a lot of the, like you said, the gang features and the customization. When they made it like superhero-y and just completely out there.
Supernatural,
Yeah, that was
aliens,
just,
and everything.
that was too much for my.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, they lost me.
but yeah, it was a great series. So good pick. I'm glad you picked that one because that's a really good one. My number 8 was a series that a lot of people is controversial too on what they preferred, what they didn't prefer. And I'll be honest with you, I've played every single one of these. And one of the sequels to this game that I'm going to say was a launch game on the Xbox One that I ended up getting. And this game on my number 8 is Dead Rising. And if you don't know anything about it, you are basically a freelance photographer / like journalist going in to this mall, and you get attribute points, and you level up by not only killing the zombies but also taking pictures. And I thought it was a unique system, and you have so much time to get through the story for evacuation to safely get out before they basically blow up the mall. And what's neat about this gameplay loop is you really have to play it more than once to really get through and unlock everything and then fully level up. And it doesn't do a great job at first of telling you that kind of thing. My biggest frustration are the save points, though. I hate, and I'll say it again, hate save points in like bathrooms or random places. I enjoy a good autosave mechanic. And I know that's kind of like not a thing that for us older ones, you'd have a password system that's like 400 freaking scrambled letters to get back to where you were in the game. how do you describe it? It got better for us as we got older in gaming because autosave, right? It's just that is such a better system than having to try to find a friggin' bathroom stall and having to save and then go all the way back. It's too much back and forth. That's the one thing I hated about that. And then collecting missions and progressing. There was just too much back and forth through like a maze system when it didn't have to be that complicating. That would be the biggest downfall of the game. And it got better as the series went on, is what I got to say with that. And I absolutely love the franchise still to this day. And I hope they put out another one. But yeah. Number 8 was Dead Rising.
My number 7 is Dead Rising. You said everything.
Sorry. You beat me to the punch.
Yeah, it's just a good game, and it continues. They continue to make good games out of it. So yeah.
Well, my number 7, you already said mostly everything too, was Saints Row. So
Hey, we just swapped on that one.
we did. And again, that's what we said. It's a great series, a lot of fun. It sets itself apart, and it did it wisely. So, Rob, you have a 6.
I did have a 6.
Welcome.
Yeah, and for me, I had Wii Sports.
It's a good one.
And anybody that's ever had a Wii, you know why. It was just goof around with your me and do stuff.
Lana, what's up for joining us now? We are in 2006, entry 6. So that is what you've missed. I don't know when you stopped listening, and so
My
But
number 6 at 2006 is Bully. I know a lot of people love this game, and it probably could have gone higher up on my list. Um, but I don't love it as much as everybody else did for some reason. I don't know. I guess it didn't grasp me as hard as it grasped some other people. It's a great game. I mean, it's great enough to be at number 6 on my list. So, but yeah, Bully is my number 6.
it's a good pick. My number
Rockstar.
6 is Guitar Hero 2. So the unique thing about this one, for one of the things we didn't mention in the last episode in the last year, was they were able to obtain mostly licensed songs in this one. What they had to do in the first one, if they couldn't get the full-on approval or rights to a song, they had their in-house band, the people that made the game, actually do a cover of some of the songs. And several of the songs were as made famous by would be the name of the artist. Well, in 2, they got more licensed tracks and they expanded upon their track list because of the success of the first one. They got a bigger budget, so they were able to achieve that. And it was just, they improved upon the gameplay. The hammer-on pull-off system was much improved. There was a lot more response. The visuals were improved. The customization for guitars and stuff were improved. There was just a lot of stuff that needed work that they did. And they used this engine for a lot of their expansions and spin-off games around this time, too, for number 2. So it was a very important one in the franchise, and I enjoyed it. That's why I put it on as my number 6. Hi, Rob. That's you.
all right, and so my number 5, I had Mortal Kombat Armageddon. It kind of rolls in with the Shaolin monks from what we did in 2005. It was the Mortal Kombat, had the Conquest mode. Play through that a bunch. Just, they're all kind of the same, just different story when you get into it around that time, but I enjoyed all of them.
Did the roster change drastically, or was it also somewhat the same?
Not much like they kind of do now, where like usually they'll throw some new characters and I wish and I haven't played them in a while, so I wish I could go over like what the story was for them for you real fast. But I just know that one they made so a couple of them they made like a new character where that was who you went through the story mode with, type of a thing.
Gotcha. So they just kind of expanded upon what was already established and made it a little better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll admit it's. I was not playing those at that period of time. Like for me, Mortal Kombat's the first 3 games, and it's arcade. Like that's been the best way. I have dabbled with like 10, and then I've been told that 11's super good, but I haven't got that one yet. So I don't know. Cody, what you got?
Don't laugh at me.
Hold
So for number five, on the DS, I have Brain Age. And I don't know if you guys have heard of Brain Age before, but it was really just a lot of brain teasers and stuff like that. But I spent I just remember like every night when it was my bedtime and I was sent to bed and I would sneak my DS, and it was either Nintendogs or it was Brain Age that I was playing. Um, so yeah, Brain Age was doing a lot of brain teasers, a lot of math problems, and a lot of word problems, and just kind of just brain teasers in general. It was really fun, and I put a lot of time into it.
Ain't nothing wrong with making
Until
yourself
you,
SMRT smart.
Basically
yeah,
hours every night on this game, just passing the time until I fell asleep.
in my research on the Wikipedia, that was the number one selling game in Japan for 2006. That
Was
stuck
it?
in my brain.
Oh
Yes.
my God, look at me.
Ty says their number 5 was The Sims 2 Pets. The DLC was fun, but I vividly remember being bullied by my brothers because I kept naming my dogs Blackie. And Lana says that's why you're so smart, Cody.
That's sarcasm.
I don't know if it is.
I don't know if Lana thinks I'm smart or not. I don't know.
Ask her, she would tell you. She's pretty straightforward about
Lana,
opinions.
feel free
Make a post about it, Lana, please.
and make it about 17 paragraphs long.
Seriously, let us
I'd
know what you
appreciate
think
it.
of Cody.
Yeah, but Brain Age is my number five.
Um,
Oh, thank you.
see, I told you.
I wasn't too. You can never tell with Lana sometimes.
And I did do the canned laughter thing for your preface of "Don't laugh at me." By the way, Ty says I should pipe bomb Cody. There you go. You should
That's not the type of pipe he's talking about.
subscribe to DNA OnlyFans for more original content. Only
Moving on to number five from Gravity Well.
Travis?
Well, I also enjoyed Wii Sports. That's my number 5. One of the things that Staple Gun and I would love doing is trying to figure out ways to potentially break the game. And by break the game, meaning not intentionally play it as intended, rather, is the better way to describe it. We would go into
Are
other
you
rooms
talking the hack with the bowling?
with a hack with the bowling, manipulating the remote a certain way, doing certain things, making fun of the how-tos holding the remote and how to do things with the remote. Mario Party did that best for their little mini-game demonstrations. Here's how you hold the remote, and here's the hand gesture.
Oh, yes.
How to play this game. It's like, well, I'm really good at this game.
I wonder why all the guys are doing way better at this game.
Right, why am I so good at this game?
I do remember, now that you brought that up, doing the Wii baseball in the hallway where you couldn't even see the TV.
Yeah, this was the thing. We got, I don't want to say bored, but we're like, all right, let's try this. Let's try this. It was just trying
Make
to
sure you
break
have
the
the
tech.
make sure you have the wrist strap on so you don't throw your remote through the TV.
I never threw a remote. I know people who
I've
have.
never lost one either.
I think I've accidentally released one, but I've never hit the TV. Like it's gone like out to the side and maybe hit the wall or something. But you know, we had the like the Nerf things around it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, it could take a beating.
That's the thing about Nintendo. They make their stuff, besides the Switch, they make their stuff durable. So that's always been a quality of their stuff. What's up, Will Zona in chat? How are you today? Zona says, I love the first Uncharted game. Lana says, hi, I don't know how you feel about you all thinking
That one
I'm
is
so mean.
2007.
Yeah, stick with us, Zona. We'll be getting to 2007 next. It's only like 90 to 95% of the time that Lana's mean. Um,
Oh, I wasn't saying she was mean. I just didn't
she's
know
honest.
if if she was being serious. She's very sarcastic. That is true.
She can be. She's just brutally honest. She'll even me like she'll tell me how it is, even though I don't want to hear the truth.
But you don't want to know.
Yeah, just don't tell me. Just lie to me. Tell me I'm pretty.
You're pretty, Travis. There you go.
Liar. Don't want to know.
So should we move on to number 4 now?
Please,
Number
please,
four.
please. This is awkward for everybody.
And number 4 for the year was NHL '07. And for the simple reason that was one of the first ones where me and
Uh-oh.
you bought it so we could play on a team with each other over the internet. Did I lose you?
Nope, you're back. You said that so we could
About
play
half of that.
on a team together over the internet. That's why we both had
Yeah,
bought
so
that
it
one.
was the first one that we could that yeah, so me and you both had it and we could play with each other on the same team over the internet and beat people. So it was just again, normal, hockey game from that year, but it holds a special place because it was the first one we could play together.
I am a shitty friend. I didn't even have that as an honorable mention.
Oh my God. He just had that lovely story. He didn't even have a top 10, and it was on there. And you don't even have it as an honorable mention.
Oh God! Why did you have to have that story along with it? Why couldn't you just say it was a sports game? God, I'm taking double melatonin tonight. I'm not gonna be able to
Uh,
sleep.
my number four is Marvel Ultimate Alliance. For reasons that I argued earlier. Yeah, it's just a really good game. Um, definitely good enough to be in the top five. The playback ability is just so good. I've recently played this one again. I've recently played two again, and three. So like these games are just very, very good. Excuse me, and being able to team up the Ultimate Alliance,
Hmm?
just random heroes from the Marvel universe that you never thought you'd see side by side. Yeah, it's just a very, very good game.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. What if you had to rank them? Where would you rank them? The three games.
Uh,
Which
three,
one's
one, two.
3-1-2?
Yeah.
As a new recruit. Anyways, not a fan of the Village People, I guess. Bay 1-2 is a new recruit.
Really?
Oh, God damn it! This podcast has officially failed.
You just went pretty old there.
Oh man,
You
Batman
know the
laughed.
one song that I know from Village People?
I am not gonna say anything.
It's
It's probably
YMCA,
safe.
dude.
Oh my god. No, that's in the Navy, but that's fine.
That's Macy with dyslexia.
Ty, jeez, Ty didn't laugh. Well, you know what? Here, laugh track. Now, if you don't laugh, I have a laugh track. They'll laugh at me and with me.
Yeah, you probably should time that better.
Yeah. Number 4, appropriately, I must add, Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion.
You try too hard.
This actually is a fantastic game. I sunk a lot of
It
hours into
is.
this. So did Andrew Ilana, and it's one of the ones in the franchise, especially around this time. It's one of those first games that we both 100%ed. We literally did everything you could do, including the DLC, the Shivering Isles. I mean, literally everything, every mission, every achievement. We completed everything you could complete.
Yeah, this one I put it as my honorable mention because this is either my third or fourth favorite in the Elder Scrolls story. Um, yeah, so I just felt like with it being the third or fourth favorite, I couldn't necessarily put it in my top 10. Great game. I do love the game, but just I feel like the other ones just were a little bit better.
Oh, I agree.
I
It's
just
not the best in the series,
yeah,
but it's still
like
amazing.
Morrowind's is up there for me, and then obviously Skyrim.
Skyrim. Yeah, Skyrim's amazing.
Yeah, Skyrim's obviously the number one, or Elder Scrolls Online if you count that.
Yeah.
So
So that leads into my number three, which was Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Hey.
And it's the only Elder Scrolls I've ever played.
what?
Ooh.
Somebody get him Skyrim now.
How did you not get Skyrim? How did you
I
miss
have
that
never
train?
Skyrim is so good.
Dude, everyone
played
had Skyrim.
Skyrim. I have never played it.
He's in the Matrix again.
Yeah,
I believe
I-
anybody does.
somebody can loan it to him.
Dude, I have like 3 different copies of the game. Next time you visit, take my copy.
Yeah,
Seriously.
loan that to him. That's
Never
one of
played it, but
one of the greatest games of all time.
I did play it all through Oblivion. I didn't 100% it, but I played through everything on Oblivion and loved it. Which is why it's weird that I didn't play Skyrim ever because I liked Oblivion so much.
Yeah, I've 100%ed Skyrim about 4 or 5 times. Like it's that good. Just playing with different classes and going with different strategies. That's Skyrim's great. You have to play that.
Rated says, I put so many hours into Skyrim. Yeah, I have a copy on the Xbox, which I will just straight up give to you, iRob. I have a copy on the PlayStation 4. I have a copy on the PlayStation 3. I have a copy on the Nintendo Switch. I played that game so many times over. You can have my Xbox copy. It's yours next time we see each other. Is it on Game Pass? It was for a minute.
It is on Game Pass. I think it's on Game Pass. It was
Yeah, it was for a
not
minute.
too long ago.
I will check.
Trevor says,
And
yep.
lead just to finish off on Skyrim. Um, yeah, the next Elder Scrolls will only be on Xbox consoles.
Bethesda bitches.
The superior console.
For once, Trevor is outnumbered. I never thought I'd see the day. Trevor says, to be fair, Skyrim isn't on many systems. I think that's sarcasm. I don't know. So, yes, Skyrim is on Game Pass. iRob, mission. After we're done tonight, start your download on that. Make some room. Or wait, you got a hard drive now.
I brought a hard drive. I have 500 gigs available right now. So
Boom shakalaka. Get that
Nice.
Skyrim and you start that damn dragon slaying adventure.
Great game.
Man, you're going to have fun for the next week. I say that because I know how quickly he beat. Oh, epic sound effects guy. Hold on, dance break.
I don't know how long we were supposed to dance break for.
That's it. It's like 14
Oh,
seconds. So,
Yeah,
thank you
we
for the dance
can't
break.
hear it. But yeah, I knew the song, so I was trying to stay on beat in my head.
But yeah, what I was saying is I know how quickly iRub got through Mass Effect. That's why I said have fun for your next week in Skyrim.
Oh,
It took me 3 weeks to get through all of them.
I'm teasing
Yeah.
you. Jesus.
if it takes you a week on Skyrim, I'd be really impressed.
Don't,
Unless you skip ahead.
don't
if
give
you
him
do
a
all the
challenge.
side quests.
Don't give him a
There's
challenge.
there's like 500 side quests on that game.
There is, but you want to know an awesome trick? In the very first mission, when you're getting guided through the castle that's being destroyed by the dragon, there is a way that you can do a leveling glitch. Because the guy cannot be killed. That is your guide. So there are multiple two-handed, one-handed, and sneak, and various other things that you can level up in the very beginning of the game. Also boosting your main level, which makes the game incredibly easier. Spend 2 hours doing that, and you're just set for the rest of the game.
Either.
It's not cheating. It's taking advantage of a game exploit.
Exploiter.
It's not cheating.
What are we on? 3?
Real quick catching up
What
with
if I
chat.
take an arrow to my knee?
You can do that. But okay.
That Ace Ventura?
I know. Batman says, let's not get me started on that, but PlayStation all the way.
I mean,
No.
Yep.
you're wrong, but okay.
Trevor says, outnumbered, but still wrong. PlayStation greater than Xbox. I mean, we've said a million
Game Pass.
times before. It's what you're into, but Game Pass. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
to mention all the companies that Microsoft just acquired. Just
Yeah, Bethesda,
they're in the long game and they're winning.
for sure.
Yes, the last generation didn't go in the favor of Xbox, but let me tell you.
This one will.
And yes, MX, we need to adjust your strands. I know you just cashed in for 1 million, though. What are you at? You can't have that many. Because you cashed in 1 million strands.
He's gonna lie to you again.
He can't lie. I know the numbers on both of his accounts. There's no lying. You're at 2.6K. Yeah, well, look at your other account, but you just cashed in 1 million like a week. What is it? At the NOW podcast a week and 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it might be accurate. This Friday, we will check as we do every Friday, except we forgot, I think, last Friday. I don't know.
So every Friday except for last Friday.
Yes. Continuing on, though, what are we at? 3?
I think it's my
Three
three.
for
We just did three.
Yes.
3 for Cody.
My number 3 is Gears of War. Not a huge fan of Gears of War. Like, this one was great. It was evolutionary to the world of Gears of War. I just always felt it so. I just always thought it felt so clunky. That was the big thing for me, is that it just felt clunky. Um, yeah, and the other two that are ahead of it, I couldn't justify putting Gears of War over the other two.
Mark just redeemed for another GM show. Mark's got 2 in the bank. Damn son.
Work.
So you just, it's clunky. Clunky.
Yeah,
Clunky.
it felt clunky. Even the new one feels clunky. So
Clunky.
it's just the game mechanics. Just feel clunky.
All right. I'm gonna put
You
that.
can be wrong.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna take that. See that laptop I have right here? I'm gonna set it right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to that statement.
To the
Don't
clunkiness.
let me forget to pick that back up.
Okay. The little man on the glass.
Yep, we're gonna return to that one. Ty says number 3 was
It's
Pokemon.
number 1.
Ty was Pokemon Diamond and Pearl for their number 3. Ty, let me ask you this: are you getting the new remasters of those games this year? Then I can tell you I am.
Just accidentally drew on my foot with my pen.
Oops. He says yes. He says yes. Much excite. Number 3 for me was Bully. I absolutely adored this game. And
You played that a lot.
I played it so much. I even got it again later on for Scholarship Edition when they ported it to the 360. This on the PS2 was just an incredible game. I loved the story. I loved the mini games that you have to go to class and do various just basic games like the cutouts.
Did you 100% that game?
Yes, both Lana and I did. There is a glitch, though, with a rubber band in the game, which I believe we had to start over. We had to do something, but there is a glitch with one of the last rubber bands in the game. But yes, we both had 100% of that. We've done everything. We did so in the Scholarship Edition as well.
I just remember the one achievement that they had where it was like just kissing as many people as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, if you do both genders, then it's over the rainbow as well.
Yep.
That was the achievement that you got for it. Yeah, that's the only real achievement I remember from that game.
Lana says those goddamn rubber bands, they were everywhere. And I just love the idea the game expanded throughout the season of a school year. The weather changed. It had holiday decorations for like Halloween, Christmas, and so on. It expanded into the little town. There was a theme park. You could have like go-kart races. There was just so much, just like, because it was a Rockstar game. It was just like so much you could do in this like living environment. It was just a fun game. The music was awesome. The character design and voice acting was awesome. Honestly, like, if we do that top 10 for the decade, I strongly feel this is a candidate for my top 10 of the decade. Incredible game. I can't say enough good things about it. But there are two
That means your
games,
top 2006 would be in that decade.
most likely.
That's crazy.
Yeah, most likely, because these next top two are fantastic games too on my list. Radis is not to change the topic, but I've been reminding Cody of this. But have you asked Brittany about fantasy
Nope.
football? He said
Nope, I
no.
haven't. No.
Ty's laughing. I'm assuming Ty's laughing about, I don't
Yeah,
know.
because Rated Ass in our chat basically every night after Brittany goes to sleep, he asks. So it's like, no, it's not going to get asked then. And then he always asks at like the most inconvenient times. He never asks like when I'm just not doing anything.
Timing, man. It's all about timing in this world.
So are we on to my number two?
We are.
Ooh,
Yep. Sorry.
My number two for 2006 is Saints Row.
Ooh. We both gave it
And I
low.
was,
Go on.
because I just, like I said, it is my, I'm sure, unpopular opinion. I would play Saints Row over GTA every day.
You know, I love Saints Row, but I don't understand that statement.
I think one and two were both very competitive with Grand Theft Auto.
And for
Personally.
the reason that people have said that they don't like it because it got cartoony, that's what I like about it. That it got kind of wacky.
I mean, fair, I guess. It's your list.
I can be wrong too. That's fine.
No, it made both of our top 10, so clearly it's a good game, but just kind of surprised to see it so high, to be honest. I already know your top game then.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll
pretty sure
continue.
it's the same as yours.
Most likely.
Do you know my top game?
I do not.
Oh, okay. My number two is Call of Duty 3. Like I talked about earlier, just the online. This really advanced Call of Duty into the online scene in general, um, and just really set up for the modern warfare, the Black Ops, and where we're at today with Warzone. This was really that starting piece, the really crucial starting piece that they needed when it came to the online multiplayer. So yeah, Call of Duty 3, just because of what it means to Call of Duty in general, it's got to be at number two.
Fair. Lana says, one of my big fears is being buried alive. When you bury that guy in the casket, I force quit and I didn't go back for a long time. So if you remember that specific mission in one of the games, speaking on the Grand Theft Auto Saints Row comparison. But yeah, don't get what I say about Call of Duty 3 as being a bad game, because I do have a lot of fond or fun memories of 3, Cody. Like it's not a bad game. I just couldn't rank it at the same level because I feel like I missed that time period.
Online opportunity. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was just wrong timing for me, because it
I
probably
get
would
it.
have been very different.
Yeah, I just your Call of Duty 2 being so high up on your list
Well,
for
because again, it's
2005.
that new console. It's that honeymoon period with your console. Everything is so
Yeah,
fantastic and great, you
I
know.
guess. I
Except
mean,
King Kong.
I guess that's why we have a lot of Wii going on, not really on this list because Wii came out late in the year.
Well, they both
Uh,
both did, both PS3 and the Wii in this year.
but yeah, 2007, a little hint. It's got a lot of Wii in there. It's got a lot of Wii.
Stick around, guys. If you're here live with us, stick around. Right after we end 2006, we're going to take a short 30-second as we switch over. And then obviously, if you're listening in podcast format, it'll be the next episode on the list for our podcast channel, whether you're on Apple, Google, or Spotify. Give that one a listen, because in all honesty, we've been doing these lists on DNA since 1990. We've gone through and broken down every single year since the year 1990. And 2007, putting together that list, was the most difficult year I've had.
Difficult.
And I can only imagine as these years go on, it's going to get more and more difficult. But 2007 has been. So You're
Hell,
going to want to check that episode out.
yeah.
For my number 2, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This game was such a fun experience, and I hold this one so closely because it was probably one of the first games that because I used to buy the strat guides for games, especially games like these. I just love strat guides in general too. I love having that stuff on my bookshelf. But I had a guide who would soon become my wife, and she was my guide through all the dungeons, all the puzzles, all the stuff, and we together beat this game. And in honesty, it's a good Zelda game too. I know I think for some got mixed reviews. I don't know if a lot of people loved it. But for me, I really enjoyed this particular one. And it was on the Wii. It was with the new mechanics as far as like the Wii motion. And what was unique about this was, and I don't know if many people notice, maybe they do in the gaming community, outside of the gaming community, maybe you don't notice. Link is left-handed. In every Zelda game, Link holds the sword in his left hand and his shield on the right. It is that way in the GameCube version of the game. However, because the Wiimote and the nunchuck is right and left hands, they mirror the game. So Link has the sword in his right hand and the shield in his left for this particular game because of the remote. Trevor says I enjoyed it. So it's like I said, it's a fun game. I don't know if either of you guys even played it.
Oh,
That's a bummer. Do either of you guys get into the Zelda franchise at all?
64. Like Ocarina of Time and stuff like that was really.
I figure you got into it enough for both of us.
I think I got into enough for so many people. Well, fair. Okay.
Yeah, Zelda's a really good warrior.
Number 1 picks. Let's have at it, boys. I'm not going to entertain Cody.
I think me and Travis might be on the same page on this one, but my number 1 game was Gears of War.
Look at him mouthing.
Saw that coming.
Jeez.
This is up there for one of my favorite just game series ever. Like I play all of them 100% all the way through. Spoiler alert, later in the series when a certain character dies, I actually cried and stopped playing the game for a month.
Oh man, and number 2?
Yeah.
Or number 3. I mean, which one are we talking about here?
I'm pretty sure it was 3 when the best friend.
Oh, that's number 3. Yep.
Yeah, when that particular moment happened,
Spoiler.
and I also felt bad because they had the online thing when you could pick if a other certain character was going to live in 3 or not knowing that by voting on that you picked that the other character was going to die.
Yeah.
But yeah, so went a little bit in the future there, but Gears of War was great. Played through all of it, and led on to many fun things later as well.
It's true.
Well, Travis, I'm pretty sure that we all know that your number 1 is pretty much on the same page there. So why don't you pick up that little guy off your laptop and get to talking about
All
it?
right, let me catch up on chat real quick. Trevor says I enjoyed it. Batman says I like it already. A main character who's left-handed. Assuming Batman, you're left-handed then. Ned Flanders would be proud.
Hey.
You're left-handed too?
That means you guys aren't right.
Wow. Trevor says they don't play Zelda. Can't take their opinions seriously. I know, right, Trevor? See, there are moments where Trevor and I are like, yes, best friends. But then there are moments like when he's like, PlayStation. And then I'm like, I don't know.
Does Zelda have Game Pass? That's the real question.
Zelda would have. She would have Game Pass. Ty's number 1 is SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Lana says, so sad to your character dying comment. Rated says, don't worry, I cried too, iRob. And Batman is confirming they are left-handed. So yes, picking up that little guy from the keyboard, where is it at? Right there. So the gritty, clunky controls is what defines the gritty, clunky, just kind of raw world that is Gears of War. That's what makes it so great. The sprint with the low camera when it's shaking and everything is just so raw. The chainsaw, like the Lancer, like there's
The cover base where it was different than everything
the
else.
cover base, third person, which I absolutely adore. This game is fantastic. This game, just so good. I can't say enough good about it. It's set up an incredible trilogy. Judgment is shit. 4 and 5 are really good, and it's just such a great franchise. I'm proud of what the Coalition has done with the series too, because they've continued the legacy on really well, which it could have gone really south. But even for my oldest son, I remember when this is bad dad moment right here, but I remember the first time he saw the game and holding down B to chainsaw through an enemy, his reaction was like mine, even though he was super young and shouldn't be playing it, but hey, whatever. There is nothing more satisfying in a
I
game.
call that a parenting win.
Is it though? I don't think it is. I'll probably hear a knock at my door in the coming days.
Yes, it is.
But there's nothing more satisfying than charging up your chainsaw and sneaking up or coming around the corner and cutting an enemy in half. It's so good. And then the active reload, shit yeah. Come on, man. And then you get like the bullets that light up, so they're a little bit more powerful in that clip. The marking that you could eventually do. The what is it called? I want to call it the hook shot, but that's Zelda. The bolt shot, is it? What is it called? What's the damn
Work bow,
torque bow? Thank you. Good lord, I couldn't name it.
where you can watch their head explode afterwards.
Yes,
Yeah.
but when you're playing against people and you hear that, shing, there's that 2 seconds where you're like, ah, fuck, and then you're dead. Again,
Yes.
so good. Sorry, Cody. So good.
You're fine.
So
You're
good.
fine. I mean, I don't think it's bad. It was my number 3 on the list. It's still a good game. And I mean, if anybody watched our community tonight, obviously I'm still pretty decent at it. Because we did that Gears of 5. So if you haven't seen that, check it out on our YouTube. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I just couldn't justify it over Call of Duty. And my number 1, Wii Sports. I just couldn't put it over Wii Sports. The Wii had just come out. That was really the game that came with the Wii. You had boxing, you had golf, you had baseball, you had bowling. It was just a great game in general. And I just remember this was around the time where I got a Wii for Christmas, and I remember that Christmas evening we all sat around and we were playing Wii Sports, and just this was something that brought the family together as well because everybody wanted to create their me and play Wii Sports, mainly bowling. Um, and it was just so uh, like it was just another evolution to gaming, being able to have the actual controller with the nunchuck and actually track your movements to be able to actually do certain things here and there, like the boxing or the bowling or the baseball. It was just a really good, revolutionary game in general. The whole system. This really started the system out for what's to come in the next year.
It's just, to me, like you had in your list some defining games, right? All of us did. Games that started a just blockbuster or a game changing series. Your number 1 pick, we had this in our lists. I did. And IROB did. But it's a tech demo. It's a glorified tech demo.
Yeah, and it
You
was
could play
great.
for hours.
Yeah, you could
So
play for
I'm not
hours
mad
and
at you for it.
hours.
And it was
Yeah,
bundled.
it was bundled. I'm not going to argue that whatsoever, but it was just so good. And everybody that has played a Wii has played Wii Sports.
Of course.
It's guaranteed. Not everybody that has played an Xbox has played Gears of War.
I would compare the cultural movement of Wii Sports to Pokemon Go.
I don't really know about
Everyone,
that.
I want to say that we all know that summer that Pokemon Go launched and what people were doing. Wii Sports is that same revolutionary moment in gaming. It changed how we viewed and consumed games. Pokemon Go did the same
I
thing.
did have a perfect game on bowling. That I did. But that took hours and hours and hours and hours and years to be able to get that. Just being able to find exactly where to put your line and just how much to
Spin.
um, curve your ball. Yeah. Or you could pretty much have it down to muscle memory.
MX is a guaranteed none had three perfect games. I
Three
think,
perfect games?
yeah, I don't know about three. I might have gotten one.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know. It's a possibility. I mean, it became muscle memory.
Yeah. Trevor had Gears at number 6 and Wii Sports at 10. Lana asked, how much time did we put into the game, though? People who never played video games played Wii Sports. That's why I said it was a
That's
revolutionary
true.
moment in gaming. It's just,
Hmm.
it's interesting to place it, and it's not wrong to place it at number 1, but it's so
Yeah, I
interesting.
mean, that's really why I put it at number one is just how global Wii Sports got. And not to mention, it brought families together. Like, a lot of people grew up in households that, like, the parents didn't really play video games because they really didn't understand it.
Hmm.
But once you got a Wii, everybody wanted to play Wii Sports. Like, that was
Yeah.
just something that everybody would sit down and actually want to play. And
I
it
take that
was a lot
statement
of
back.
bonding time.
They didn't sit down. They would stand up and get engaged and involved. This would be something
That's
that would
true.
be in old folks' homes too. You would see older generations that what it was
Hmm.
said here that never played games. All of a sudden they had, old folks' home activity nights. Like this transcended gaming as we knew it. And it's why the sales of that system, not to mention it was the most affordable console on the market, it revolutionized gaming.
Yeah, and this really grew the Wii into the healthiest option for gaming because this was actually forcing you to work out in some of these games when, I mean, when we're playing video games, we're just sitting on the couch, hardly moving,
And munching
kind of
on
like
Kit Kats.
potatoes, and munching on Kit Kats and drinking Mountain Dew. And yeah,
Live that life, man. Live that life.
One
yeah,
Nintendo
so,
system I've ever owned.
Really?
yeah,
You
so,
never had a Wii?
Yes. I know I did. It's the one I actually owned.
Oh, I thought you said
I
quite
owned
the
a Wii.
opposite. You had the Wii.
Nope. That's the
yeah.
only Nintendo system I've ever owned.
To be fair,
And I
you were
mean,
a Sega guy, so.
honestly, I did have my Wii Sports at number three at one point on here, and I had a Gears of War at number two and Call of Duty 3 at number one. But after really revising my list and thinking about how many people actually played it, how much time I probably spent more time on Wii Sports than I did either of the other two. I mean, anytime friends came over with the parents on game nights, everything like that. I mean, one bonding, like it was a huge bonding tool as well. So, excuse me. That's why I had to kind of jump it ahead of the other two because even though it was just like a bundle in to the console itself, it really transcended into its own thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong. We could do a whole episode on the Wii and its games. And I have a feeling in the coming years, if you stick with this podcast, which you should do, real talk, we're going to be covering other Wii games in the upcoming years. The last thing that we want to go over here, we close out the year with the best-selling video games of such year. So as we conclude episode 121 of The Dosage, here are the best-selling video games of 2006 in the United States. Number 10, Brain Age, train your brain in minutes a day. Number 9, Madden NFL 07. Number 8, NCAA Football 07. Number 7, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Number 6, Final Fantasy 12. Number 5, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Number 4, Gears of War. Number 3, Kingdom Hearts 2. Number 2, New Super Mario Bros. And number 1, Madden NFL 07. Yes, I said that before. Number 9 was for the 360. Number 1 goes to the PS2 version. PS2 easily had the most consoles in households at this time, so it's logical that that many were sold on the PS2 over the 360 at this time, because the 360 had only been on the market for just over a month. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this has been our episode of the Dosage Podcast. If you're with us live right now, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 30-second break as we kick over to our last year on this live broadcast, which will be the year 2007. So again, we'll be back in 30 seconds. For those listening back on podcast platforms or on YouTube, our video should be next in the convenient playlist for you. So stick with it and just keep listening. And again, for those that tuned in live tonight, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next year.